What up, everybody? Everybody, all right? Much love to my viewers, listeners, and supporters. Um, this is another eye-opening, thought-provoking transmission. For my people to ascertain and ingest in a way that will be therapeutic for you, coming from your brother, your peoples. You know, that mean well through my acts of sharing knowledge that create thought provoking perspectives that make you take things into consideration where you can utilize to help get you through the day and that can help you see things from a perspective in which you may have never seen it before. Um, we have a lot of brothers and sisters out here in the world and people of all nationalities that are spreading knowledge for the betterment of people who are interested in that information, that is structured on education, so to speak. Um, Today, I want to talk about multiple perspectives that all link together to this great evolutionary process that we call life. Now, for instance, right, where did we come from? Who are we? Or what is my purpose on this earth in relation to the divine scheme of things, to where I see myself in a position to where I see my life as valuable. Here it is. We have a beautiful experience here that we are experiencing called life as as gods and goddesses, kings and queens, human beings, and there also are hybrid species who are conducting themselves on the level of beasts. Now, we have divine books that has been compiled with information, right? That is designed to help us improve our intellectual capabilities in terms of knowing how to properly socialize with one another to the point we develop a perspective of deep thought through deep thinking originating from the cosmos, being cosmic people or star seeds that operate from higher planes of existence. Now, for instance, I want to go into this reading material dealing with going into some intricate details about having perspectives of the ethers into the manifestation of this light spectrum that we are in right now in the flesh as human beings. But there is more to us than being just human beings, because we are of a divine essence that is from a higher power. Now, I'm saying that to get to these perspectives in terms of like, who are we getting our information from? Are we even seeking knowledge that will enrich our understanding, and overstanding and outerstanding of how to really operate out here, by not giving into the limited physical limitations that men and women try to influence us by, to satisfy their own personal interests, in terms of, you know, like genuine people who out here who's considered like, good people, not to be taken advantage of by people who want to run game on you. Now, for instance, back to the question that I'm asking y'all. Where is y'all getting y'all information from? Or are you basing um, your understanding that you have about life from your own research? Or the research that you have researched, that's what you basing your understanding on about life? To think is a gift. Indeed, it is true. It's the thing. Our thinking shouldn't be misused or abused. But yet, a lot of people in the populations of the society, their minds have been just that, misused and abused. Now, for some reason, the collective consciousness of humanity has been hijacked to the point where a lot of us don't woke up to the trickery on our minds, to where we have taken our consciousness back to where our consciousness is under control of ourselves. Now, I'm saying that to say this in terms of me being a sole controller of my own thought, spirit, and soul, right? I'm connected to a current of life force energy that is good for my health beyond the indoctrinated mind infiltration of certain forces and people who are working in service of the ways of darkness to exploit the earth, connected to reptilians and disagreeable grays and extraterrestrial biological entities and certain bloodline people in the earth that certain scriptures was pointing out to identify as a certain seed of people who is here for the purpose of hoodwinking the people, who are basically energy vampires who have skills in deception and deceiving and tricking the minds of people on a day by day basis. So to wake up out of that particular cycle and that kind of food supply, it requires right knowledge. It requires information that will help you be free from that mind control, which is a positive thing. It's not nothing negative in terms of wanting to be independent in your thoughts to where you connected to the light works of existence, the light workers. Now, with all of these dark works and light works going on, above all of these works in this spiritual war that's taking place and going on, we have watchers that's seeing all of this. So, for the sake of knowing that there's watchers who seeing all of this, who actually intervene in the affairs of this particular spiritual warfare that's going on, there's galactic forces that a lot of us tend to not think about or ponder on, to the point where, because of being distracted from drug abuse, alcoholism, um, sexual distractions that don't have nothing to do with one pursuing knowledge and wisdom, which will protect one from the detrimental effects of the habits of destructive sex, being oversexed, or indulging in this particular game that's being played through the lustful forces, and then compound with drug abuse and alcoholism to cloud the mind and deaden the senses, to the point where a person will be not responsive to the higher self-accusing spirit within themselves, to lead them into a more supreme state of conduct and existence, connected with the spirit world that's constantly appealing to our higher selves, right? To be in tune with natural nature and the cosmos. Now, during the last transmission, I had mentioned that woman and man is mind. From the depths of the universe and realm of the ancestors, right? Where we all is linked to what's called a mind bank or mental reservoir, right? The mental reservoir is also connected to what's called the Akashic records of existence, this planet, and our DNA and RNA. DNA, from my research, is dealing with the universal polymeric constituents of all living cells. Within these cells are intelligence imprinted and encoded in these cells that come from the beginning of time, from the ether realms. Now I want to go into this particular area, right, that's explaining about the details of how our thinking have came about, like the source of our thinking ability. And this is from the holy tablets that the master teacher put together for us to broaden our knowledge spectrum with, from these particular perspectives of existence. Now remember when I was like, who are we taking our information from? Now mind you, okay, the purpose of this transmission is for me to provoke thought in us, right? Where we can do our own research in our own time when you finish listening to me and coming up with ideas, where like how I'm shedding light on certain ideas and topics and points, right? To where this information that's being taught is basically to make us better indigenous citizens of the society from an informed perspective, to where we can contribute to, you know, how they say, peace on earth, right? And goodwill to all men and women. How many of us out here, you know what I'm saying, in society on a daily basis look at the human family like that? You know what I'm saying? We are to promote peace on earth and goodwill to all men and women. But that's where the perspective came in at when I said that the purpose of my knowledge that I share is to have a positive impact on us to embrace the habits of becoming better indigenous citizens of our society. Now, for instance, right, this say, in the beginning was the word. Existence was this word, existence. Creation came after existence. Nothing would exist if the Most High Creator didn't create it. In order for the Most High to create, the Creator have existed. If the Christians say that God is the creator of all things, or the Hebrews say that Yahweh is the creator of everything, or the Muslims say that Allah created everything, then Yahweh, Allah, or God must have existed. So there's existence before creation. Nothing was created except by way of the Most High, right? By whatever name you want to call the Most High, right? Who originally was known by other names from different cultural perspectives. Like, we identify the Creator in our Kemetic tongue as Patemta, the All, Al-Kalun, the All Existing, the Most High Beyond, right? Okay, now, the Most High was and is and will be the intellect, intellectual, lecture, the speaker of the word that existed in the beginning, or simply where things began from hydrogen. What is hydrogen? Okay, hydrogen has something to do, now correct me if I'm wrong, the water element, right? Hydrogen. But we trying to reflect and represent right knowledge on my channel, correct information. Now, we not saying that, you know, we can't be corrected if we wrong about something, which is only fair and right. So in terms of being corrected on something, in the comment section, please correct, you know, what need to be corrected if it need that. So now, in terms of hydrogen, which is like the water element, water, on through the elements. Now, understanding these points where things sum up to something and existence predates creation, as darkness predate light, as ether before light is hydrogen, and weight as ether before light is hydrogen is weighed to have a sum, and from ether on into triple darkness. The root of all thinking, that is, number one, the state of quarks, the first degree of darkness, biaps, the second degree of darkness, and zealous, the third degree of darkness. The weight or the sum of things or of a thing pre-weight nothingness, yet it exists. Knowing these truths is called right knowledge, right wisdom, and right understanding. He was not always the green solar light, but created himself into a green light to be witness of his creation as El Elo, the Most High. Light is a manifestation of energy detectable. Now, in this state that we are in on this physical plane, we are detectable, right? We are detectable, not speculated. So it's real that we can see each other on this physical plane and communicate through speech and hear and understand one another through the language of communication. And in other cases, communicate in other multiple ways on this physical plane, which is a plane where things are detectable, that we can see. That's not speculated or speculative. Not speculated, but calculated. So, since we are detectable as a result of a mathematical calculation to where things are what they are in the light of things. So the Most High manifested himself, the unformed informed, to be detectable and logged in what's called time and space. And that energy began as a light, a color in light, which is the presence of a sum, meaning we are real. Now, in terms of us being a product of a real creator, we created in a universe of truth. Now, the messenger, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, in the Theology of Time, mentioned in there that we are living in a universe of truth where falsehood is being pushed out of the universe, where truth really isn't to have a place in it. Also, the purpose of truth is to knock out the brains of falsehood, where falsehood becomes a forever vanishing thing. So the Most High, by the Most High essence being a reflection of the truth. The light of the Most High is something that stands forever. Right? So by us being direct descendants of the Most High, we are forever. As etheric beings, we are forever. So, in light of that, this is a real powerful statement, right? We will be here forever. Like KRS-One said, we will be here forever. forever and ever and ever and ever. We will be here forever. Get what I'm saying? Forever. Forever and ever and ever. We will be here forever. Now, with that said, by us being gods and goddesses with mathematical pure intentions of being just that, and knowing that math, we are fixated into that reality. So for our minds to be contaminated, manipulated, or polluted by a teaching of indoctrinations that took us out of that particular supreme mind state to where we have fallen into a ignorant state of ignoring the facts and becoming ignoramuses as a product of a nigga machine. The Most High is against the nigga machine. So the evil one that control that nigga machine that's producing niggers all over the planet, ignorant people all over the planet, that's causing people to engage in illusions of a matriarchic world that constantly prey upon the ignorance of those people to keep it alive. Ignorance is a food source for them to the point where that is their source of power. Now, having a free mind, being a free thinker connected with divine law, and remembering the purity in which you was created in, puts us in a natural state of mind in terms of where we are naturally supposed to be, where our conduct will show us being noble in our character. You know what I'm saying? So as far as like being a part of the best in a part of the best in civilized society, right? You know, that's what we reflect. So when I had mentioned about this transmission is about sharing knowledge for us to become greater citizens. Freedom, when it comes to freedom, it is everybody's job to get involved with this fight for real equality, truth, justice, freedom, and peace. Equality. Through good intentions. Loving instead of hating. Right? Now, in order for us to become better citizens, we must have knowledge of civics and jurisprudence of law. Now, I have this paper here that's going into deep perspective about the meaning of civics, right? And it reads, civics, that department of political science which treats of citizenship and the right, citizenship, the duties of citizens, and relating to citizens, cities, and to civic affairs. It is a duty of all true American citizens to take their place in the affairs of their cities and their communities. Responsibility to self is also expressed through one's responsibility to one's community. The Constitution for the United States Republic of America, we the people, are to be mindful of this. Now, I want to resume this transmission for the sake of time, um, to go into more detail about the purpose of us becoming better citizens through knowledge of self. So, peace and love, positive energy, activate constant elevation, stay strong out here. You know what I'm saying? And always keep a winning spirit. And most definitely, we got those hater elements out here, but the hater elements, you know what I'm saying, is just there to serve us as examples of how not to be. You know what I'm saying? We love instead of hate over here. You know what I'm saying? And that's a part of being a better citizen as well. In addition to knowing how to navigate ourselves in society through proper jurisprudence, which is positive law. So, take into consideration the useful information that I'm sharing, and we all will be all right. The gods and goddesses build. Much love to the kings and queens. In a minute.